Hey guys, my name is Kalli Padgett, and this is part 2 of my interview with Glenn Miller, brought to you by the New Orleans Arts Center.
What is it that moved you to become an artist in the first place?
Well, I do have a strange story now. I could have said, well, I started out as a child and this and that, and I had a cousin that helped me and learned to draw. But actually, there was an event in my life that I think started me being an artist. It's an odd story, but I mean, I had an aunt who would babysit me, and she was kind of, she was a little mean on the side. My mother's aunt, my mother's sister, older sister, would watch the children. And I misbehaved a lot. This is back of I think I was around maybe 7, I was in the 2nd grade, whatever that was. What is that, 7, 8?
Mm-hmm.
And I misbehaved a lot, mischievous kid, and I would tease her, and because she was so strict. And this one occasion, we lived on a farm at that time, and so she chased me out into the shed, and I wouldn't let her catch me. And we were running around this wagon, and when she'd go to the one-way direction, I'd go the other direction, and taunting her, just having a ball doing this. And well, she got very frustrated. She picked up like a wrench, and she started threatening me with it. Well, I thought that was fun, so I went up and I'd get real close to her, and she'd swing and miss it, and I'd back off. I'd miss me. I had good reactions, And somehow my timing was bad. One swing, and man, she hit me. And so next thing I know, I'm coming out. She knocked me cold, really knocked me unconscious. And she's over my face, crying and begging me to be alive. And she was so scared she killed me. She didn't mean to hit me, I don't think. And I came out of it, and I had a big knot in my head. But I could. Then suddenly it was like a revelation. I could see all these pores in her face, and all that and the hairs and the eyelashes and hairs in her nose. And it's all vivid to me, and her lips are cracked, and so it did. And then she made a bond with me, saying, "Don't tell my father." My father was he would not have liked that. He would have maybe killed her. Then I ended up right promptly flunked to 2nd grade. And I remember the teacher told me I wasn't paying attention. I was staring at things, and they couldn't. So I was staring at all the wood grain and the tables, and they had old desks at that time with wood grain. So the wood grain would really kind of intrigue me, and I don't remember all of it, but I mean, the teacher come along and say, look at me, look at the board. What did I just write on the board? I said, I don't know. And then I'd have to get my attention, and then other times I'd be trying to duplicate on paper the grain, the wood grain. I'd be trying to draw it, and I think that started me. I wasn't I didn't have a lot of gift for drawing, and there's a difference I've seen over my career. I've seen people just have a great instant gift. I had to work at it a lot, but main thing to me was my attention, my love for looking at detail or seeing things, observing, and then also my imagination. I had maybe had an unusual imagination.
Yeah.
I fantasized a lot. And so then I eventually got into etching. I met an old man in New Orleans that needed an apprentice, Mr. Loving, Gene Loving was his name. Mm-hmm. He introduced me to etching. I became his helper. And so then I had this career in etching. Started etching, and then this would be talk about detail,
Oh,
see,
wow, yeah.
So wow.
So this is one of your edges?
Yeah,
Okay.
hand printed.
Was this his what was his name?
Gene Loving.
Okay.
Eugene Loving. As I continued in etching, I got into this thing that's called a remark. This is like a 17th century thing where they're doing the etching and then of a scene, and then they put all the information about it at the bottom, the remark. And so it's very narrative, and tells a story, and it preserves the history. So it's more like a document.
Right.
But, so And these are, you know, hand printed etchings, and I did that. I etched in I think over 30 years. I was quite into it, you know.
And that concludes part 2 of my interview with the amazing Glenn Miller. If you want to see any of his work, please go to the NewOrleansArtCenter.com and check it out. Thank you, everybody.